Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the TerraFirmaPunk series with Rob's Mind. Today, this is episode 10, and let's get started on doing some redstone. So over here we already have the works of a setup for an auto dropper circuit. We've got our chest with a hopper below it running into a dropper right here, and then we've got a few blocks right there. We'll place our comparator on subtract mode, run that into a block. We'll place redstone there with a block on the side of that as well. Then redstone on there and up there. We'll have to cut these two redstone from connecting like that. And then place another block on top of the comparator. And that will diagonally power this dropper every time. Then all we have to do is set up a repeater right there. And that is all finished. Now, there we go. That is all good, but before I can test that out, we're going to need to set some things up. We'll actually place in these 4 blocks right here for some decoration, and where is our low-voltage capacitor? We want to place that right there with our power input on that side so we can start charging it from here, and then we'll have the output over on the opposite side that will connect the crusher to the actual capacitor itself. It's just kind of a neat way to get the wiring through the wall without having to have a big hole there, essentially. And before we can connect that up, I'm ripping all this stuff out. And we are going to start over on this system. This system is so bad right now. Yeah, let's fix it up and make it a little bit better for us. Right here in the carpenter, I have actually already crafted us a windmill because I've been doing my research, and it would appear that a water wheel is a bad decision for us. We're up here very high in the mountains. We are at Y214 right now at the top floor up here, and the windmill up there is even a couple of blocks taller than that. So it is just more ethical for us to place windmills in at the top because they operate very efficiently when placed up high. So say bye-bye to the water wheel. We didn't even really get much use out of that thing yet, but that's alright because we are going to take this Kinetic Dynamo and put that thing to doing a ton of work for us. And I also found out what is up with these Thermoelectric Generators that we actually had crafted, and we will set those up as well because that is going to help us produce tons of power in conjunction with our windmills. And we also planted a few carrots and a few soybeans down at the base of my base, and a couple of other crops like some barley and corn, some maize over here. So we'll just harvest the ones that are mature, pretty much the carrots and the soybeans. The carrots are going to be my food for right now, and the soybeans are going to be made into cheese. And the way we make milk is by putting 40-ish ounces into a hot springs barrel and sealing it like that. And then we will take that, we'll take 1 bucket of milk out of each of those and put in a bucket of vinegar, and that will get us curdled milk, which when you seal curdled milk, it turns into 10 pounds of cheese. Alright, so let's line up with this windmill here. It's going to be about right here. And I think it comes out from... oh, man. Yeah, I think it comes out from this point here. We'll poke through right there. Perfect. All right, that is what we want. Cool. So now we'll put a solid block there. And let's put 1 more right there. And we'll place the Kinetic Dynamo right here. We'll have to smack it with our engineer's hammer a couple of times to get it the way we want it. Then place in our windmill. Can we do it? Yes. Cool. So that's 1 closer to the building, so we're going to move the other one closer to the building as well. I think it'll be a little bit nicer. Then we want to actually take out these 3 planks right here, because the middle one we are actually going to be placing our Thermoelectric Generator. I found out that these treated wood planks are not flammable. Let's go ahead and make some smooth basalt, because I really like the texture of this stuff. We'll place 1 there, and we can take our chisel. We can switch to the slab mode and take 7 off of that to make it a single slice thick, 1/8 of a block thick. Very nice. And that will actually contain our water and our lava. Thermoelectric Generator, lava on one side, water on the other. We should be generating RF from that, and we will hook them up in a little bit once we get back inside. For now, let's go ahead and place in these blocks and then chisel them up to make them a little bit more pretty. Alright, let's place in the Kinetic Dynamo, and good that it actually placed the way that we want it. Alright, can I place the windmill? Yes, we can. Cool. We need a bucket of lava and a bucket of water. Now we can place in our Thermoelectric Generator, our lava, and our water. Alright, now let's go ahead and place in our medium voltage capacitors and make sure, yeah, we've got power on that side. That's what we want. Let's toss our other one in. Cool, power on that side. So if we put a connector up there, one on the bottoms, one right there, we'll place one right there on the sides of our thermoelectric generators. That's not going to be for pulling power out. Then we'll have to place one on there and there. Now let's link those two together. Link this one to here. That should charge, but it's already full. Then we're going to need to link... I'm going to link this one here. So with those two linked together, they should essentially share their power. Like they should, if one of them depletes from power, they should help the other one. So we'll connect that one back up and drop that down here, and that will start delivering power to that. Cool. And it looks like it's pulling from this one first, which I'm okay with. I'm fine with that. Now let's hook this up. We can see that this is getting power because we saw the RF just filled up whenever I placed it, and the same goes with that one there. So all we really got to do is run this the same way that we just did to the other side, like so, and like that. Then this wire will be for connecting all of our, all of our machinery together. There we go. Now for one last piece of machinery, we'll hook that up there, and yeah, I guess right there is fine. Then we'll connect these two and connect this to this. Then once we connect them up right here, we should be good to go and finally able to run this for a test run. So essentially what we're going to want to do is get ready for the noise. I am going to cut it down for you guys so you don't have to experience the fury of it, but this machine is so loud. We're going to get a bunch of copper and send it through the system. And yeah, you can hear it starting. Let's unlock it. And there we go. We're actually going to need to start smelting down a lot of the dust that I've already created in here with the janky setup that we had before. Yeah, and that does appear to be working. You can see it's draining the power out of this one, but this one's still at 1 million RF. Oh man, we have got such a good power setup right now. This is making me feel really good about this series. And all of this is getting crushed down into dust, which is just wonderful. So we can take that copper dust, and I found that each of those is actually worth 20 units in the crucible here, which is very useful information, actually. So it takes 5 dust to make 1 ingot. I also forgot that we've got these 2 Stirling engines, and why let them go to waste? Let's go ahead and pop them on the back right there. We'll have to make a couple of levers and fill them up with charcoal. But that will actually provide any additional power that we may need if we end up bottlenecking on these 2 million RF that we've got for storage. And there is the spoils of our barrel of copper. It got us quite a bit of ore. So I did the math, and this should get us about 71 ingots of copper. There was one other trick that I found with this too, is that we can take this stuff. This is wolframite, which is actually tungsten. You can take that and toss it into the crusher here, and we end up getting this tungsten dust. We take that and we put it in this work table. This work table I've been working on a little bit. I've made a recipe for a mechanical board, and I've also made a recipe for these tungsten ore dusts. So let's get all of those. And one thing that's really cool about this is we can throw them in this smelter and heat them up into these tungsten ingots really quickly. And the cool thing about these tungsten ingots is we can heat them up into weak steel. Now, if you look up the recipe for weak steel, here it is. It takes nickel, it takes black bronze, it takes regular steel. And we got this from tungsten, so that's awesome. This you weld it together with the weak steel, you weld it together with pig iron in order to create black steel ingots, which we use to make our top tier metals or black steel stuff. You know, it's extremely useful in the pack. So it's really cool to just like that have over almost a stack and a half of tungsten ingots that we can convert into a stack and a half of weak steel ingots. We don't even have to use our nickel or our black bronze at all for that. So I have a couple of confessions to make, guys. Number one, we have still died 0 times in the series, and I seriously do not know how. Ooh, renowned engineer. But anyways, without getting distracted, I have also got a surplus of extra lives built up right here, because we get them by combining this meaf together like so into quarter hearts, and then you can combine quarter hearts into full hearts like that. So yeah, we have got a ton of extra hearts, and as a matter of fact, I'm kind of curious, how many of these can we eat? Because we have 24 lives, and if I remember right, I think I set the cap to 30. Oh, yep, 30 is our max lives, so we have 39 lives total. Oh, I swear, it is because as soon as I got the clockwork wings that we used to craft this, I started taking 0 fall damage, it was like night and day. Like, I was all of a sudden in almost no danger, except I have to be wary because mountain trolls spawn up here all the time. But anyways, I do have one more confession to make, and that is that I know I said that we were going to be building a cellar in this episode, and we probably should, because I starve to death so often, or almost starve to death, rather. But we're probably not going to. The reason is because I didn't even think about it, but we can make a Nether Portal. I saw in Etho's series that we should be able to mine obsidian, so let's go ahead and see if we can... Oh, wow, that turned... We got rhyolite out of that? Why did that happen? I don't know. Maybe we can only place one at a time. But yeah, we can totally get obsidian like this. Now let's make sure we fill up our steam canisters before we embark on this adventure real quick. I also saw that we should be able to make a digger's backpack like that. Cool. So that should boost our inventory. What is this? How do you use this? Oh yeah, it boosts our inventory by 15 slots, so that is really nice. Now I'm going to build my portal over on this plateau over here. Now I am a fan of Etho's Let's Play series of his TerraFirmaPunk, and for those of you that watch it, you'll probably know that whenever he went into the Nether, it happened to permanently crash his game. Oh, man. So needless to say, I'm a little bit worried about this process, but I have a theory. And my theory was that he was not high enough to be spawned immediately on top of the roof of the Nether. So hopefully that theory checks out, because we are risking it all right now. Well, we've made it. We're on top of the Nether roof, and I can actually fly up here still because we are still below the cap for my jetpack. So I guess that worked. It says I have 1,520 health, which is wrong. That's not my max health. Things happened, and I think the game almost crashed. Did something mess up? Is my Nether messed up? Alright, yeah. I'm gonna place a marker right on top of our Nether portal, so just in case we can't find it, we'll still be able to come back over here. Oh, I see it on the mini-map. There's a spot to get down through the bedrock, I think. And yes, it is a roguelike dungeon. This should start cutting through down into the bedrock, and it does. Alright, it's weird. So the lava here is not TerraFirmaCraft lava. It is Minecraft lava, like to start out with, because we cannot pick it up with our blue steel bucket. Very peculiar. Alright, let's mark this spot where I'm standing just as a random spot. Yeah, I'll know what that means. That is like the hole that I just dropped out of the ceiling in, and I don't want to lose it because we'll be lost forever. Let's see if we can find any easy loot to grab while we're here. This is like the really low layers of a roguelike dungeon. Well, that was about the worst decision I've ever made in my life. I am now officially terrified. Alright, so far there is nothing about that loot that is easy. Oh my god. No! This is another thing that I was really looking for was soul sand, so let's get a bunch of it while we can. Hopefully that nether soul is not following us anymore, because he is really scaring me. Oh man, I almost just fell into lava. Oh, I think I see a couple over there that I might dare go after. Let's go after these couple. Come on, go, go, go. What do we got? Anything good? Ah, what is that? Scarlet Manticore. I don't know, but he looks really painful if he hits you, so... And out of that whole box, did I seriously grab the soybean seeds? I don't know what was really in there that was valuable, but I don't think the soybean seeds were it. What in the world is that thing, man? Dude, I don't know if we're ready to even look at this place. This is like really terrifying. Alright, time to head back home. Now, somehow while we were there, we happened to lose our crafting table, so I'm really curious. Does the game think that we lost a life? Because I definitely didn't die. I got scared to death, but I didn't die. Nope, we died 0 times. I don't know what happened, but we got to make a new crafting bench now. And what happened? Okay, let me relog. Well, I don't know what happened, but relogging happened to fix it. So let's craft up our glowstone into blocks. And let's get a bunch of this soul sand. Oh, we can't put glowstone in there? Guess glowstone's not a block to the... Oh, I guess it's not like a naturally harvested block? I don't know. I don't know how that works. But I want to take this soul sand and start running some through the sieve, because I believe that we can actually get nether wart by doing this. Oh yeah, we got one. So what you do with this nether wart, let's see if we can figure this out. We need to find seaweed, and that indicates that we are in salt water. Then we got to take a bucket of vinegar, and I believe we put it in there, and yep, that gets us some brine. And then if we seal nether wart in brine, we can get witch water. And it looks like our milk is ready as well, so we will just take out a bucket of that. Then we can go ahead and place in vinegar into each of these and seal them. Alright, so we had sealed the curdled milk. It turned into cheese. We got 20 pounds of it, and I ate 10 of it already. So we are going to be stocked up for weeks, ladies and gentlemen. But check out this pile of ingots. I have been making our crusher do the work. We got, what is that? That's over 3 stacks of copper. This is 3 stacks right here, and then 47 ingots. Then we got 2 stacks and 6 of tin, so that's 134 ingots, I believe. And almost a stack of an iron. And I have a couple of really interesting tips to share with you guys about the iron. So let's actually start up a batch of steel and go and check that out. So out here on the 2nd floor balcony, this is where we make the magic. This is where the iron is at, but our iron, of course, all we do is press our button 3 times and a redstone torch burnout clock takes care of dropping the iron and the charcoal into our system. But over here, we still need to come over and do our steel production pretty manually. So we take 20 flux, 20 limonite or steel, and we got to take 20 charcoal as well. And then we just throw them up against the trap door. I've found out you get less problems if you throw in the iron and charcoal first. For some reason, it doesn't really like it if you throw in the flux first. But then we will come down here and light up the system. So you can see that right here, the blast furnace takes an iron 2-year or better. And yeah, every once in a while you have to replace it. But I found out a really cheaty trick. Right now I've caught this one at like no durability left. And we're actually going to stick it in here with our iron blooms. Fuel that up, and let's begin to heat it. While that's heating up, let's go ahead and work out some of this steel together. So the steel, it'll eventually flow down into ingot molds in the crucible below the blast furnace. And then we have to take it over here, refine it once, like this, 3 punches. 7 shrinks, 2 double hits, and 1 single hit. Then we go here, we go punch, upset, and then a bunch of shrinks, 1 double hit, and 2 singles. And then we've got a steel ingot right there. That is like the most efficient way that I have found to do it. So yeah, we'll check this. We need to add a little bit more charcoal. Now we need to run over here. We'll throw our iron blooms on a shelf real quick so that they retain their heat, and check it out. We got 4 blazing hot wrought iron ingots. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. You can essentially make free 2-years that way, as long as you pay attention and don't let it expire on you. But now we need to pump the bellows. You could see that it was stalling between the end of yellow-white and the beginning of white. So we have to get this to brilliant white and maintain it there for a few seconds in order for this to start flowing the pig iron down into the crucible, like so. Just as I spoke about it. And we're going to want to add probably 2 more pieces of charcoal. I think that gets us through, and if we wanted to, that'll even get us into lighting another batch right after this. And if you put in rich quality limonite, magnetite, or hematite, you will end up with exactly 7 ingots of pig iron at the end of this process. Alright, so steel is a pretty big pain to make, so I really hope that this is going to be worth it. We're going to make the revolver barrel, got to make the hammer, use an iron mechanical component, and 4 steel to make the, what is that, the drum? Yep, the drum. Then we're going to use 1 steel and, like that, 4 iron to make a speed loader. Then we're going to use 2 copper and 10 treated sticks to make 2 wooden grips. Then we put the 2 treated sticks, the drum, 2 iron ingots, a barrel maybe on this side, and a hammer. Yeah, there we go. Gives us the revolver. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool. Ooh, I've never seen this before, and I believe we're going to need to make an engineer's workbench in order to actually shoot this thing. Oh, man, that is really cool. All right, we are definitely going to need to craft up one of those auto workbenches, so let's go ahead and clear out our carpenter. We'll place in our 2 servo arms. Let's see if I can remember the recipe. Clockwork engine, 2 iron gears, mechanical board, a marking, steam hammer, and then I believe we need a workbench right there. Looks like I had gotten all the complex stuff and forgotten the workbench, but there we go. Auto workbench should be crafting on its way. Probably going to take a little while. Now let's clean up all this stuff. One day we will get everything as substantial as our copper and our tin, but I mean, look at the copper. 1, 2, almost 6 stacks of copper right there. That is all of our copper, by the way, but oh man, I am glad I made 2 slots for that, because we go through it like nuts. But yeah, the rest of our the rest of our metal supply is not looking so good. I did happen to turn 20 something of those ingots tungsten ingots into black steel. So that's a good amount of steel converted over into black steel so that we can continue to make some top tier metals and stuff like that. Oh, it's so expensive. Yeah, I foresee a lot of metallurgy coming up in the near future. We got to dwindle this copper supply so that we can start boosting up on these kinds of metals right here. All of those take copper. And I almost forgot to show you guys the other trick with our iron. So we're up here in the workshop. You got to throw it in the anvil. Normally we have to refine this a whole bunch on the anvil. So to do this, we're going to do upset, then shrink it till it's just past and 3 light hits. Then we have to split this. So we're going to do a bend, 6 shrinks, and 3 punches. And that shrinks it, or splits it. Then we usually have to refine each of these. But I've been just tossing them up here and allowing this thing to smelt them down. You have to refine them at the very least to get them into these refined iron blooms. Otherwise you will get unshaped metal, which is no good. It's useless. So we've got these coming out just like that, and oh yeah, that's going to be awesome. That saves so much time on an anvil, you would not even believe it. Man, this auto workbench still hasn't finished. It is taking forever. I can't even believe it. We're not out of power, are we? Nowhere near it. Well, real quick, while that is going through and cooking up on that auto workbench, we are going to go ahead and grab our charcoal from out of here. Oh my god, one of these things spawned inside of my shop. Oh no. This is bad. And there it is. Alright, cool. We lived. I can't believe he spawned up here. That is so lame. It's the middle of the day. But yeah, there we go. This thing has completed, and we got tons of charcoal. Stick a stack in there. Stick a stack in each of these. We'll completely fill up these guys. Oh, don't worry. I've got more. There's more where that came from. Yeah, so after filling up all of that, we still got 2.5 stacks left over. Tons of charcoal, man. Tons. Alright, so now let's hop back in the carpenter, and let's go ahead and make this final thing to finish off the episode. Let's go ahead and put a iron gear there. Our auto workbench that we just made, and a single ingot of iron to begin crafting our engineer's workbench. Oh yeah. So starting with the next episode, we are going to be crafting up some ammunition, testing out our revolver, and also we are definitely, don't let me not do it, we are going to make a cellar to store our food, because right now I have 613 max health. If I was able to keep all 5 food groups down in a cellar for a long time, my food would spoil less, and I would be able to actually, you know, have over 1,000 health again. We could suit up with armor. We could take on a roguelike dungeon, or at least a layer or 2 of it. I haven't been very combat intensive this playthrough. We've been trying to really focus on climbing our way through the metals and getting through some RF power stages. If you guys are familiar with Minecraft mods and you have suggestions for better RF power or anything like that, please do hit me up in the comments section. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Let's finish this off by placing down our engineer's workbench. See you guys in the next one.